Hi, hey, hello, and welcome back to my channel. So today we will be going over my TBR. So if you watched my last video, I wasn't sure if I was going to do a TBR this month, but I think I'm going to because I do have a couple plans on videos I would like to put out. I'm going to switch it up a little, and I'm going to... we're going with thinner books this month to try to get back into reading. I still feel like I'm in that mood where I just don't want to read. I want to do other things. Like, my problem is I have like almost like not an obsessive personality type, but it's like I fixate on something once I start doing something and I like it. So like with reading, once I get back into reading, it'll be nonstop for a little bit until I basically do it until I hate it. And then I do the same thing with like TV shows, like watching other YouTubers, just everything. I have a hard time like once I really enjoy something to like take a break from it, or like say I'm really into a TV show and I'm binge watching it. I have a hard time stopping the show or like stopping at a certain episode to like go to the gym or like read a book that I need to read or anything like that. That is just so hard for me to do, and I don't know why, but I'm working on it. That's why I think smaller books will help ease me back into reading, and like I said, I do have some plans for videos this month, so fingers crossed. Also, sorry about the lighting. It is rainy here, so we're going with my indoor lighting, which is not the best. So obviously in previous TBR videos, I would go based off of my book cart, but I think this month I'm going to set a small pile on top of my book cart and try to pick from that instead. Which, I mean, I will still keep everything that was on the TBR cart on there. I just want to give myself more options to kind of pick from, and like I said, video ideas. So I will stop repeating myself and let's get into this video. The theme this month, we are aiming for thinner books that should be easier to read. So I've heard tremendously good things about this book, and I've heard it's a very quick read. So I had to put this on my list. It's When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I have heard such great things about this book, and I think it is about like a pop star, like a well-known pop star. Yeah, Princess of Pop. Basically kind of wants a break from being popular and like being in the eye of the public. So she goes on like a little vacation, and I think she's disguised, but she goes into this small town, and I think it's Rome, Kentucky. And there she meets somebody. I don't remember what he does, so I will read the back for all of these, I promise. Amelia Rose, known as Ray Rose to her adoring fans, is burned out from years of maintaining her Princess of Pop image. Inspired by her favorite Audrey Hepburn film, Roman Holiday, she drives off in the middle of the night for a break in Rome. Rome, Kentucky, that is. When Noah Walker finds Amelia on his front lawn in her broken down car, he makes it clear that he doesn't have time or patience for celebrities' problems. He's too busy running the pie shop his grandmother left him, reminding his nosy but lovable neighbors to mind their own damn business. Despite his better judgment, he lets her stay in his guest room, but only until her car is fixed. Then she's on her own. But Noah starts to see a different side of Ray Rose. He sees the real Amelia, kind-hearted and goofy, yet lonely from years in the public eye. He can't help but get close to her. Soon she'll have to return to her glamorous life on tour, but until then, Noah will show Amelia all the charming small-town experiences she's been missing, and she'll help him open his heart more. Amelia can't resist falling for the cozy town and her grumpy tour guide, but even Audrey had to leave Rome eventually. So I'm definitely excited. Small town vibes, and it seems like we're going to get grumpy sunshine in this as well, so I am a sucker for that. Can't wait. I think all these books are under $250 besides maybe the Allie Hazel one that I'm going to go over. Next, I have a book that I was gifted from one of my best friends. It's Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter. I actually don't think I've heard anything about this book, but when I was looking over my shelves, this is a smaller one to pick. And I'm pretty sure my friend read this and loved this too. So I'm excited to definitely give it a try. And with that, I will read the back. It started with a cup. Isabel Shea is usually a very honest person. But when she's running late for her first day at a dream job and the barista yells for Amy 3 times with no answer, she does the unthinkable. Izzy takes the PSL, which, if you don't know what that is, it's pumpkin spice latte. It's the exact drink she ordered and paid for, only way further ahead in line. So she mutters, "I'm Amy," and grabs the cup. But when she turns around and runs directly into the most attractive man she's ever seen, spilling the drink all over his GQ shirt and tie, she ends up having the ultimate meet cute. Sparks fly and things feel beyond promising until he says the words, "See you tomorrow, Amy." Uh-oh, she'll definitely have to straighten him out on the following day. Only when she gets to her new office and meets the VP of her department, it is none other than Blake Phillips, the hottie from Starbucks. And the man might have been charming to Amy, but he is an arrogant grump to Izzy. An arrogant grump who does not find her explanation funny at all. I was starting to think, like, when he recognized her from the coffee shop and be like, "Your name is Izzy?" But never mind, obviously he knows. It says, meet cute plus grumpy sunshine plus friends to lovers equals Accidentally Amy. I'm definitely excited to give it a try. I was going to say this will be my first Lynn Painter book, but I am currently about to start The Do-Over by her for my book club. So this will be my second book. So if it turns out I don't like The Do-Over and then I read this, you know, we'll see. It could be bad, but I have high hopes, and I've heard pretty good things about Lynn Painter's writing, so I'm excited. I really need to stop saying I'm excited after every book. So the next book I have is Checkmate by Allie Hazelwood. And I believe this is Allie Hazelwood's first YA romance, I want to say. And I do know this is about chess, and that there are a lot of chess references in this, but I have seen mixed reviews on whether or not it affects your reading experience if you don't know that much about chess. Some people say, you know, they devoured it either way and it didn't really affect it. And then other people say kind of like they didn't understand it, so they couldn't really get into the book. So I was going to say I'm excited. I'm interested to see where I fall in that, if I will really enjoy it or if it's really going to trip me up. Mallory Greenleaf is done with chess. Every move counts nowadays. After the sport led to the destruction of her family 4 years earlier, Mallory's focus is on her mom, her sisters, and her dead-end job that keeps the lights on. That is, until she begrudgingly agrees to play in one last charity tournament and inadvertently wipes the board with notorious king killer Noah Sawyer, current world champion and reigning bad boy of chess. I think I said his name was Noah. I meant Nolan. I'm so sorry. Nolan's loss to an unknown rookie shocks everyone, especially Mallory. What's even more confusing, his desire to cross pawns again. What kind of gambit is Nolan playing? The smart move would be to walk away, resign, game over. But Mallory's victory opens the door to sorely needed cash prizes, and despite everything, she can't help feeling drawn to the enigmatic strategist. As she rockets up the ranks, oh my god, now I can't talk. Mallory struggles to keep her family safely separated from the game that wrecked it in the first place. And as her love for the sport she so desperately wanted to hate begins to rekindle, Mallory quickly realizes that the games aren't only on the board. The spotlight is hotter than she imagined, and the competition can be fiercely attractive and intelligent and infuriating. I really enjoyed the description of it, besides struggling to say, words, but I think this sounds really good, and everything I've read by Allie Hazelwood has been a hit for me, so I'm expecting this to be no different. And then I have You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel. And I remember a couple years back, I saw this all over. And I do remember seeing like mixed reviews. I'm pretty sure it's enemies to lovers. I feel like people either really loved this book or they hated it. There was like no in between. So we'll see where I fall. I personally like enemies to lovers, so I'm hoping I'll fall on the end that's loving it. Naomi Westfield has the perfect fiance. Nicholas Rose holds doors open for her, remembers her restaurant orders, and comes from the kind of upstanding society family any bride would love to be a part of. The first half of that sounds like just the basics, but okay. They never fight. They're preparing for their lavish wedding that's 3 months away, and she is miserably and utterly sick of him. Naomi wants out, but there's a catch. Whoever ends the engagement will have to foot the non-refundable wedding bill. When Naomi discovers that Nicholas too has been feigning contentment, the two of them go head-to-head in a battle of pranks, sabotage, and all-out emotional warfare. But with the countdown looming to the wedding, they may or may not come to pass. Naomi finds her resolve slipping, because now that they have nothing to lose, they're finally being themselves, and having fun with the last person they expect, each other. It kind of sounds like they both come from like wealthy families, and they have that expectation of you're gonna marry someone who's from a wealthy family, and you have to act a certain way almost. That's the vibe I'm getting. So I think I might fall on the loving it side. And the last and final romance book. And then we are going to go into just a quick little manga series that I think I'm going to start. So I have Funny You Should Ask by Elisa Sussman. I do remember when this first came out, I think everyone just kind of rated it as mediocre, I want to say. And I think the second book in this, nobody really enjoyed. I don't know if it's in this book, but I know it's in the second book that I think the second book has the cheating trope. If this one also has a cheating trope, there's a high potential that I will hate this. So we'll see. But the cover's cute, which is the reason why I bought it. So I will be disappointed, but we'll see. Then, 20-something writer Chani Horowitz is stuck. While her former MFA classmates are nabbing high-profile book deals, all she does is churn out puff pieces. Then she's hired to write a profile of movie star Gabe Parker, her #1 celebrity crush, and the latest James Bond. All Chani wants to do is keep her cool and nail the piece. But what comes next proves to be life-changing in many ways she never saw coming, as the interview turns into a whirlwind weekend that has the tabloids buzzing and Chani getting closer to Gabe than she ever had planned. Now, 10 years later, after a brutal divorce and a healthy dose of therapy, Chani is back in Los Angeles with the career of her dreams as a successful writer. Except that no matter what essay collection or online editorial she's promoting, someone always asks about the profile. It comes back to Gabe. So when his PR team requests that they reunite for a second interview, she wants to say no. She wants to pretend that she's forgotten about the time they spent together. But the truth is that Chani wants to know if those 72 hours were as memorable to Gabe as they were to her. And so she says yes. Honestly, this sounds like it could be a miss to me. I am not one for second chance romance, which I've said that in plenty of videos for everybody to know. So we'll see. Especially when it's just such a short amount of time. 72 hours compared to 10 years later. That's just crazy to me. So we'll see if I end up reading this and what my thoughts are. The last books that I'm going to talk about are Kami-sama Kiss by Julieta Suzuki. And I'm putting these on here. I think I'm wanting to do oh my god. I think I'm wanting to do a reading vlog on these. So I'm going to be reading the first 5 in the Kami-sama Kiss series. And I think the series this series is really long. I know I don't own all the books, but I wanted to go ahead and start it. That way I can figure out if I like it or not and if I want to keep my collection from it. But we have book 1. I'll show you the covers. Book 1. Book 2. Book 3. Book 4. And book 5. And this is like rom-com. Nanami Momozono is alone and homeless after her dad skips town to evade his gambling debts. And the debt collectors kick her out of her apartment. So when a man she's just saved from a dog offers her his home, she jumps at the opportunity. But it turns out that his place is a shrine. And Nanami has unwillingly taken over his job as a local deity. Nanami has all kinds of new responsibilities she doesn't understand. Dangers she's unaware of, and a cranky ex-familiar who's actually pretty hot. What's a new fledged godling to do? So I have watched some of the anime for this, and I really love the anime. Although it did get like a little tedious at times, but I am excited to see how like different they are, if there's any differences, and what is the same. From what I know, I think they're pretty similar to each other. That makes me excited to continue on with it and start the anime because oh my gosh. Continue on with the manga series because the anime actually ends before the manga does. So I will have a lot of answers to my questions that I had from the anime because it does end, I think, at like a questionable time. So yeah, reading a vlog to come. So that is my TBR for March. I am hopeful that I will get back into reading this month, but I did say that this was kind of more going to be like a lifestyle channel, but it's definitely going to be always reading heavy. And I am going to do a spring cleaning video because I definitely want to clean out my closet really bad. It needs it. And I might rearrange my room too again. I don't know. Undecided. We'll see what makes it to film. And either way, I appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.